guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dawn, where we do things all beauty and sometimes some fashion. And today we got some Temu makeup to try out. I've never purchased from Temu, so why not be makeup as my first purchase, since I love makeup and that's mainly what this channel is. So things that are not Temu, I will go ahead and do off camera. What I'm thinking of doing is one side of my face, I'll apply things because we have a face palette that has a cream contour, a cream blush, concealer, color correctors, foundation, all that fun stuff. And we do have some what looks like dupes in this video. Now the dupes, I haven't tried any of the high-end stuff, but I mean, come on, they're dupes, you'll see. So I'll do all this stuff, and then we do have some brushes, a powder puff like the ones I have on Amazon, the Face Made, and then we have a little finger powder puff. So I'll go ahead and set the concealer in the one side of my face. We'll probably do this side here on camera just so you guys can see those tools, and then I will finish up the other side and we'll come back on. We'll talk about products. I'll share with you what I did off camera. I'm gonna keep the stuff off camera inexpensive because this is Temu and these stuff are really cheap. Hopefully the price tag doesn't coincide with the formulation and the products, but we shall see. I'm a little nervous about the face palette because I was really excited to get it, and then once I got it, I swatched it, and you'll see I swatched everything, so nothing's been used but swatched. And there is a second eyeshadow palette that I'm going to share with you guys. That's one I have used. One of the palettes I haven't have just swatched. The other one I've been consistently using, and I wanted to just share it with you guys in this video because it was a haul and I had to choose between the two, and I went ahead and chose a different one from this haul to do on camera. But the face palette, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But one side of the face will be done on camera. The other side off camera, I'll let you guys know. The only thing that will not be, I guess, inexpensive will be the Amicole setting powder. And that's just because I know that powder very well. It's my holy grail, and I know it works so well with all my products. So I want to keep something I'm very familiar with. And that's only at 20 bucks, which for setting powder is not bad. So please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. And I hope you decide to stick around for more beauty content and you subscribe. Also, I'll list everything down below, and I'll link Temu down below for you guys. I'll have the prices for you. I'll also do a wear test for the foundation concealer, and we will also have social media down below where I do post more content down there as well. I do want to apologize. I haven't been very consistent on my social media content or on here. We've just had a big change happen in the family, so we're still trying to adjust to our schedule here. And then we've had a few emergencies happen in the family, so I haven't been as consistent. And it's going to take a while for us to get used to this new schedule and routine. So please bear with me, but I appreciate all the patience. And make sure you have that bell notification on so you're notified of all my uploads. And I'm excited, so let's jump in and try out this new Temu makeup. All right, so the first product we are going to try is a lip oil. We have a clear one and then a colored one. I also have a lip liner to go with the color one. So we're gonna put the clear one on to just nourish the lips, get them hydrated, make them ready for our other lip product. And then I feel like these are dupes for the Dior. These are called the Lip Glow Oils, Color Reviving Cherry Oil. This one's the same. This is in the shade Makeup 06 and Makeup 04. So we're gonna put the clear one on now, and then at the end, we'll do the lip liner with this one. Again, I've not tried the Dior lip oils, but packaging wise, they definitely look like it. I just feel like $40 for a lip oil. I mean, I wanna try Dior. I haven't tried anything from that brand, but they're so expensive. So here you have the applicator. So we're just gonna apply this one. Like I said, this is just the clear one for more of the formulation, and then we will try the other one out at the end with the liner. They're not sticky, they aren't strainy, which I don't mind a little bit of a stick in a gloss or oil because it helps it last longer, but I do like how it looks. It feels really nice and nourishing. So to start out, pretty good. Now I mentioned we have two eyeshadow palettes, my apologies. This one is the one that I've been trying. True love brings up everything. You're allowing a mirror to be held up to you every day. 9-color eyeshadow palette. I really like this. I feel like this is a sultry palette dupe from, I think, Anastasia. It's so pretty. I haven't dug too much into the deeper shades, but as you can see, I've tried quite a bit here. and I really do enjoy this. So this will be in a speed reviews as well as all of these products. I feel like this one, I've already used it quite a bit to where I will probably put it in October speed review. The rest of this stuff is being used at the end of October, so that's gonna have to wait. But we do have another eyeshadow palette that is this one. It is a Glam palette, and I've only tried one Natasha Denona big palette like this size, and that is that I Need a Nude, and that you guys will see in October speed review. But here is the Glam palette. And I am definitely thinking, just based off of what I've seen of the Glam palette, I've obviously seen it, looked at it, thought about getting it. This is probably a dupe. Color-wise, we'll see about formulation. So we are going to definitely use that. And we also have, like I said, some brushes to use. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into this eyeshadow palette, try out these eye brushes. We also have some face ones. I did pull, like I said, some other brushes from my collection just to be on the safe side, just in case they don't work out, because they are kind of soft. And here is one of the eye brushes here. It looks like, I mean, just see how soft they are. They're really nice and soft. I feel like they're really nicely made. Let me give you some information real quick about these, and then the lip oil. So the lip oils were $1.77 each. They're hydrating, glossy, multiple colors, moisturizing, and they smooth the lip lines. I definitely feel like it smoothed out my lip lines for sure. I'm really enjoying this, so we shall see about the colored one. And then for this palette, I don't think I have information on the other one just because, oh wait, I couldn't get information on this one. That's right, it's discontinued, which it didn't say why. So it's a 9-pan palette. It's got mattes, it's got shimmers. I did some swatching and they felt so nice. They don't really have much kickback. As you can see here, there's not a lot of kickback in the pan. So we're gonna go ahead and, it's a very pinky palette, and I don't normally go for those shades, but we're doing that today because we are trying out this palette. And I was gonna go ahead and do everything on the other side, but I feel like this eye is a little bit better than that other eye. This eye isn't as hooded, so we're gonna go ahead and apply everything on camera on this side. This brush, although it is a little bit bigger than I normally go for, I feel like it is a good size, and it dispersed that product very, very, very well. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a paper towel. If you're not new here, you know that I like to use paper towels, but because we're gonna do one side of everything first on camera, I'm gonna go ahead and just get that color off. I do have one of those color swatches, and then we're gonna go ahead and dive into this shade right here. And I don't believe, yeah, there's no shade names for this palette. But now we're gonna go ahead and blend this color in with that one. Just kind of deepen it up a little. It's blending very smoothly. It's not skipping, it's not patchy. I like this. Again, I can't tell you if it's an exact dupe to the Glam palette as far as formulation. I would say shade-wise for sure. But this is such a pretty palette. I don't normally go pinks. I'm more a nude type of girl. But that's really, really pretty. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and go in with this pretty pink shade right here. These feel so creamy. So creamy. And we're going to apply that to the eye. It's very sticky, which I do enjoy because I feel like it's sticking to my lid, which is really nice for shimmer colors. It helps prevent fallout or a bunch of fallout, which I'm not really seeing much fallout on my face. There is a little bit, which, I mean, you kind of have to expect that with a shimmer shade like this when you don't have any type of glitter glue or anything on your face, but that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous, you guys. So pretty. All right, we're gonna go ahead now. I had other eye brushes. There really isn't a lot for eye brushes here to use on camera. We have these here. I just wanted to see if it worked well with my fingers. So we're gonna now go with this tiny one, and we're just gonna spray it a little bit, and we will add just a little bit more to see how well it builds up with a brush and a finger. I feel like your finger works really well as well. So if you're someone that likes to use the finger, I would honestly do that. I feel like it works just as well with the finger. Yeah, you can build it up with the brush, but I don't feel like I'm getting too much of build up. And I feel like I'm getting more fallout with the brush. I'm now getting a little bit of fallout compared to when I use my finger. So unless you have a brush that you know you never get fallout with, just use your finger. It's a nice brush though. It's a nice brush. We will use this for the lower lash line when we're all done. We'll jump back on like I always do with my concealer. After I do that, I go back in on the lower lash line to do eyeshadow. Sometimes I'll put eyeshadow on the upper lashes, but we're gonna keep it just like that today. Okay, now we have the face palette, and you guys see what I mean? Like, so I might mix. It's really, really creamy, but there's that one, and the shade I was thinking about kind of trying to mix because this one's very orange. This one's very gray. We'll see. We're gonna play around. I'm quite nervous. So we're gonna take this brush and we are going to just dive into both of these. These are supposed to be foundation shades, but again, I don't know. This palette is very much, I feel like it's not, there's no in between shades. It says light to medium, but it's very much either very, very light or very dark. Because you have the shades down here that are supposed to be foundation shades. That's a color correcting, that's foundation. These three are blushes. That's a highlighter, which looks really, really glittering. I don't like glitter in my highlighter, but we're gonna try it. Concealer shades, and then another color corrector. So that's what these videos are all about. And what does this look like? A dupe for the Makeup Forever face palette, which I never really thought about picking that palette up just because I feel like that's more for a makeup artist, because you have all of these colors, shades, different ranges in one palette. However, at the price, and I'll read you guys the information here in a second, of this one, I felt like, why not? And okay, mixing those shades actually, hopefully it's picking up on camera well, isn't too bad. And maybe as we get closer into the colder months and my skin gets lighter, it might work. This is probably the closest I will get to my shade at the moment, but you see how really pretty that is? I will have to bring it down the neck as well, just because it's not exact match or isn't really close. However, and the pans are a little bit small, so if you're having to dip in a lot, you might run out pretty quickly. But again, inexpensive. And I like the fact that it's all your face products in one palette, and again, not expensive at all. Like, this is a really inexpensive palette. I wouldn't personally pick up the Makeup Forever one just because of the price point, and I'm not a makeup artist, but it's applying really, really nicely with a brush. We are going to go back in though with the sponge like I always do. It's really nice and creamy. It's not patchy. So here we have, put that down there, the one side of the face, and I do like it. Again, the shades are definitely off. I feel like if I went with the darker palette, it would have been way too dark. I mean, you have those two bottom shades in this palette that are already way too dark, and this is supposed to be light medium. That's the only complaint and issue I have so far with this, is it's just not really, I feel like, a medium light shade palette. Like, there is no in between, it's one or the other. And a lot of palettes would have a couple in between shades. They either lean pretty gray or pretty orange. And then we're just pressing it into the skin, but it applies really nicely with a brush. I would say it's a pretty high medium coverage. So we have this side without and this side, or sorry, this side with, this one without. I like. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and set the face, and we have, like I said, the powder puffs. And I'm gonna use the Amicole powder just because, like I said, it's something I'm very familiar with. And I wanna set the face before we go in with the cream. Here's the puff. So here's the difference. These are a little bit thinner. This is the Face Made one. It's a lot thicker and puffier. This is thinner, so we will see. But they look quite similar. So we're just gonna set the outer portion where I'm gonna be putting the creams. I just wanna make sure it doesn't stick to the face. All right. One thing I definitely do notice with this puff is you can feel it's a lot thinner compared to the ones from my Amazon purchases, but I feel like it's applied pretty nicely. And there's no patchiness where I put that powder, and this is why I wanted to use that powder because it's very familiar to me. All right, so for the brush set, it's a 10-piece brush set for all 10 pieces. It was $4.49, 5 face brushes, five eye brushes, synthetic bristles. They're soft and they're dense, which I don't feel like they're dense. Like this is more of a dense brush, but shorter bristles on that one, longer on the new ones. And it's skin friendly, and it's economically made with the handles. And then for the powder puff, I got 10 of them in the set. I gave one to both my daughters, and they are $1.67. They're supposed to be plush. They're dual-sided, which they are. You can use either side. I use the side, you can flip it over and use the other side. So the same as the Face Made. And then there's multiple colors. I think I got the one that has like pink and black in it. So it's not a bad one. I like the thicker feel of them. And so I prefer the Face Made over those. And these aren't even that expensive on Amazon either. And then for the face palette, this was $6.74. It's got 12 creamy blush, bronzer, foundations, concealer, contour shades. It's buildable, and it's a cream product. I definitely would say it's buildable. It's very nice and creamy. The only caveat so far is the fact that the shades just don't really match too well. But again, like you can mix them like I did, and I feel like you'll be okay. We're gonna now go in with this other side and go in here, and I think we will try to mix the 2 shades that we used as foundation for concealer, just to try to match our face. I don't wanna go too dark or too light. And then I will take this side of the brush and apply it, and then as always I will go in with my sponge like I always do. Okay, so I mean it's the same 2 shades that we're using as concealer on the face. However, you have, at least I personally have, more fine lines, wrinkles under the eyes. So we will see how it sets and blends, but so far it's blended really nicely. With how creamy it is, it probably is going to crease. And then we have the finger puffs, and I also gave one of these to both of my kids, and you literally just stick your finger. I mean, it's just a tiny little powder puff. It's thin like the other one, so we'll see how it sets. It's a mini size, it's also dual-sided, and it's good for creams, liquids, and powders. So we're gonna set that concealer, and then we will go back to the face palette, and we will do our blush and bronzer, or I guess contour. It's not bronzer. All right, let's set this. We'll see how it sets, how the concealer sets, and this sets it. Oh, so that actually sets it really nicely, and I do like the size. It helps you get in to all these small areas. So very much like that. All right, we're gonna use this brush from the brush set for our contour brush. And we're going to use this lighter shade for contour because contour is supposed to be lighter. Like I said, I normally don't contour. I normally do like a bronze contour type of situation. So we're just going to do the cheeks, and then I'll go off camera and I will go ahead and put a bronzer on top. Ooh, that's really, really gray and light. So I'm going to mix a little bit of that other shade that we have been using. I know contour is supposed to be a lighter shade, but that's extremely light. And I'm not sure how I feel about this brush. As you see, it's very loose. The bristles are definitely a lot longer and not as dense. It's not too bad. All right, and then I'm thinking for our, I think it's supposed to be like one of those flat foundation brushes. Again, I mean, very loose bristles, but I think for the blush, we'll go ahead and use this and we'll see how it works. And I want to mix these two pinky shades. This one is more of a orange red, and I don't go for that type of shade, but these two are super, super pretty. That's a shade I normally go for. It's like a mauve, and then this is more your typical pink shade. So we're going to mix those two shades for our blush. Just mix it up. I mean, as much as I don't like I'm going to take some off the back of my hand. The brushes, I will say the product in this palette, as much as I'm not fond of the shades, are blending very nicely. They're not patchy. My under eye is not creasing very much right now. All concealers crease on me. All right, and there is our blush, which is a very, very pretty color. So these brushes aren't bad. They're actually really, really good to set products to use for creams. I think they're really good for a cream product. And I like how we have such a pretty glow. So again, nothing on this side, everything's on this side, and we just have this really healthy, glowy look to our skin. I'm gonna go ahead now real quickly, and we will set the face down on that side where I put the cream products. I always do this. I always set my creams, and then sometimes I'll even still go back in with a blush and bronzer. But this is really, really pretty. So shades a little off for the foundation, concealer, contour shades, but the formulation is really nice. So you just have to become a chemist and play around with the shades in these palettes, unless you're very, very, very fair skin. Now, again, this is from Temu, so you have all these different like Korean, Japanese skincare brands, makeup brands. So I can see why the shades lean more gray and more orange tone and yellow tone compared to if it was American made. So this is definitely a very nice palette. All right, I'm gonna go off camera, get this side of the face done. I will do my mascara, and then we'll come back on and do lips, and then we'll be done. I finished it up for the face. I'm gonna real quick let you know what I went ahead and applied off camera with, and then we are gonna go back into the palette, put some eyeshadow on the lower lash line, and do our lips, and then we're done. So I went ahead and set the creams with these ColourPop blushes. This one's a New to You and Avila Beach. Again, kept at drugstore. And then the e.l.f. Lash and Roll for the lashes. And then we're gonna go ahead and dive in with this tiny little brush. The only brush we're not using is this one, which is pretty much the same as the one that we went ahead and used to see if it worked better with that shadow. They're pretty much the same, just smaller size. So essentially, I feel like would be used the same. And then there is two other ones that we didn't use for, oh wait, there was this one as well. So this could be used up here on the upper lash line or the lower lash line. I would use this more on the lower lash line because of having hooded eyes, and use this one more for on the top to put some eyeshadow up there. I'm just not gonna do that today. So we are gonna use the smaller one for the lower lash line. And then we have these two brushes. This one is flat, like this one is. So this would be a good setting brush. And then this one is, it's almost like the contour one, but it's round and flat, but it's a little bit crooked here. It's interesting. I feel like this would be a good blush one as well, but I wanted to try out the more flat foundation brush for the blush, and I feel like it worked really well. I don't like to use these type of foundation brushes, and it's very, like all of them, they're very loose, but they're not bad. They're good brushes. Are they my absolute favorite? Will I be reaching for these over some of my others? No. However, if they are my favorite ones, like my BK Beauty ones, are dirty, I will reach for these. I did really enjoy this eyeshadow brush. I felt like, although I typically don't go for one this big, I do like the tapered end of it, and I think it would work really well for hooded eyes. This eye is a little bit more hooded than this one, and when I did off camera this eye look, it worked really well for that as well. So I would say out of all the brushes I've tried so far, again, all this stuff would be in upcoming speed reviews once I've tried them more. I gotta try the other brushes first too. This I will say is my favorite. All right, so now we're gonna take this one and I'm gonna mix the 2 shades that we use. We just put 2 shades in our eyes today, and we're just gonna put it on the lower lash line, and then we have lips, and then we will be done. And we'll quickly go over my final thoughts. Well, final first impression thoughts, I should say. Again, speed reviews is where you guys will get my actual final thoughts once I try out products longer, and I can give my actual thoughts other than a first impressions. That's where you will find those videos. Not too bad. All right, I went ahead and took the clear lip gloss off, and we have this lip liner here. We also do have that glittery highlighter. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I don't like glitter, so I'm telling you I'm probably not gonna like it. All right, so for this lip liner, it retails for $179. It's a matte lip liner. It's supposed to be long lasting, moisturizing, and waterproof. So I guess we shall see, right? So we're gonna put this on the lips, and then we will do the oral, and then we will go ahead and do a highlighter. So I think this is so creamy. Now, sometimes a creamy liner is not a good thing. It definitely sometimes makes it so it doesn't last. It's a little bit lighter of a shade. I hope you guys can see it on camera than I was expecting, than what the picture showed on Temu. However, I think it's actually going to work out because we have a darker lip oil. I sometimes will just go in with a lip oil. I don't usually always use a lip liner. Today is different. We're going to use this today and use that lip oil. Using a lip liner with a lip oil is nice. It gives some definition to your lips. It smells like crayons though. It's a sharpened one. It's not a retractable, and I am kind of overfilling the lips as well, and then filling them in on the outer portion. It's nice. I like it. I don't like the ones that you have to sharpen too much. I guess I'm just lazy, but it's a nice lip liner. Not too bad. All right, and of course we know the formulation of this lip oil. I really like the clear one, and I drank off camera while I was doing my makeup, like I was drinking some water, I was talking, things like that. It really stayed on place. I had to finish taking it off. So I feel like it's definitely long lasting. Ooh, I like that shade. Okay. It's definitely got some good pigment. It's got a minty smell. I didn't notice a minty smell with the clear one, so maybe the clear one doesn't have a scent. I don't mind the minty scent though. It's not supposed to be plumping or anything like that either. So it's just got a scent. Ooh. It feels really nice and smooth. I feel like the clear one wasn't really sticky, but I feel like it was a tad sticky, like that much sticky. This one, I don't feel any stickiness at all with it, and I really like that shade. And it definitely smoothed out my lip lines, gave me a juicy lip look, which I like, and I do like that lip liner with it. Very nice, although I do have a little bit of cleanup. I may have went a little bit overboard. All right. I really like that. I really like that. If you guys have tried the Dior lip oil, I suggest picking these up. Again, I've not tried them, but they look like the Dior lip oil packaging and they look delicious on the lips. All right, real quick, we're gonna go ahead now and jump back into this palette, and we're gonna pick up this fan brush. And on one side of my face, I'm gonna use the brush. The other side, I'm just gonna use my finger because I feel like that works better for creams. I don't like a fan brush, honestly. I don't usually use them. I will probably, honestly, if I'm being honest, pass this brush on to one of my daughters. But let's go ahead and apply it. Oh yeah, we got glitter. I like a highlighter and I like a shimmery type of highlighter, but not glitter. I like one that's like lit from within. It's not really showing up too much. So with that brush, so we're gonna go ahead and use the finger. Oh goodness. I hope it's picking up on camera. That's the type of glitter that's going to be all over your face in a second. Like, I'm not too fond of this highlighter. I was gonna use the brush on my face and then go ahead and use my finger for the center part of my face. But honestly, guys, we're not putting on the center portion of my face because we're gonna end up with it all over by the end of the day anyways. All right, you guys, that is it. So real quickly, we're gonna go over the new stuff. So this face palette, it's not bad. Is it something that I feel like I would reach over my favorite cream or foundations or concealers? No. But I feel like for the price, not bad at all. $6.74, you get all of that. You definitely will have to play around with it. And like I said, they have a deeper shades as well. This was the light to medium, then they have a medium to dark, but I feel like that's going to be really, really dark. So if you're close to my complexion or lighter, just stick with this and mix the colors. That's the only caveat I have of this. And I really like the blush shades. Everything blended really nicely. It's not creasing too much under my eyes. Every concealer or cream product does. It just is what it is. But it did play really nicely with everything, and it does look really nice. It's I feel like a medium coverage with the brush I used. Of course, if you go in with a different type of brush, sponge, a different type of tool, it can change that. However, this is a good product, and if you were thinking about the makeup forever but you didn't want to spend, I think like $40, go ahead and pick this up first on Temu and try it out. It's not a bad product. It's not one I'm gonna be dying to reach for all the time, but I will use it again. And again, my daughter, especially my youngest, has a lighter skin tone, so this might be something for her to play around with and use. And then we have the two puffs here. I prefer my Face Made over this one, just because this is a little bit thinner. I can kind of feel my fingers while I'm doing it compared to my Face Made one is a lot thicker and plusher, but it's definitely not bad at all. But the finger puff worked really, really nicely. It works to get in the crevice of your nose, your under eyes. I think these are great. And I believe you get like 6 or 10 in this one. Let me look here really quick. You get 6 of them. And then for the powder puffs, these ones right here, you get 10. And like I said, I did hand some out to my daughters, but I really do enjoy this one. It is a little bit thin too, but it's a little bit thicker than the Face Made one, and it's like bouncy. So this is a really good one. I feel like I do recommend you pick this up. Inexpensive. You get a lot of them. They're probably a couple uses and toss. With this one, I probably would only use a couple uses and then toss it too, because after you wash it, it's going to thin it out more. My Face Made one, I can use multiple times and wash it multiple times before I have to toss that one out and get a new one. But they're not bad products. Out of the two, I highly recommend this one. And then out of the brushes that we've tried so far, they're not bad. I don't like a fan brush, so this one, I don't even know if I would reuse. I'll go ahead and wash it. I might pass it on to one of my kids. I did like this for the cream blush. This wasn't too much of a fan. Maybe I can find a different use in my routine for it, but I just wouldn't use this much for contour, and I don't really contour anyways. But even for blush, I don't feel like, for bronzer, I don't feel like it would work well for me. My favorite out of the brushes I used was definitely this eye brush. It worked really, really nicely. My eyeshadow was not patchy. It didn't skip. It was really soft and gentle on the eyes, and it blended the two colors together very nicely. I can't say that the reason why the eyeshadow didn't build up as good as I wanted it to because of the brush. I don't know. I'll have to play around a little bit more, but it's just your typical brush that you would use to apply eyeshadow. I just preferred it better, at least this eyeshadow palette, with my finger. But this, I think, was really nice for the lower lash line. I would definitely use this, I feel like, going forward on the upper lash line to use as eyeliner, because like I said, I like to use eyeshadow for eyeliner, and I would probably go more so for, where is it? This brush for the lower lash line. But the ones that we used, not bad brushes at all. These are the 4 that we still have to use. So stay tuned for my speed reviews on these, and I'll continue to use those and then get my final thoughts for those for you guys as well. And then we have the lip oil and the lip liner. We have the clear one, which I did enjoy. I think it's really nice to put over a lip color, or even a lip liner with the clear one, or you can use it like I did. But I think I like the colored one better. I feel like it smooths my lip lines more. It's really soft. It's not sticky. It's really hydrating. I really like this. I was just picking this up if you thought about the Dior one. Again, I've not tried the Dior, but I highly recommend this. It's probably very close and similar to it. Pictures I've seen of the Dior one, I feel like my lips look like those. So why go spend $40 when you could spend like less than $2? So a really good, inexpensive lip oil. I do like the lip liner. I don't like that it's not retractable, which I already knew that when I purchased it, but it's really nice and creamy. We'll see how it lasts throughout the day, because creamy doesn't always necessarily mean a good thing, but it did not skip, didn't pull on my lips, so I do enjoy that. And then this eyeshadow palette is so gorgeous. I definitely am excited to play around with other colors, but I would highly, highly recommend picking this up if it comes back. Like I said, it is discontinued, which I did not know that, or I would have not featured it. But I'd already tried out the other palette, so that wouldn't be a first impressions. I didn't know until I went to gather information, and it says it's discontinued at the moment. But they have a lot of other palettes of this size. But if you were wanting the Glam palette and you didn't want to spend that purchase, maybe see if Temu, either wait to see if this comes back, or you can see if Temu has another eyeshadow palette of this size with the close to the same shades. I'm definitely not much of a pink purple toned person, but these are just really, really gorgeous colors. The mattes blended so nicely. They were not patchy. They didn't look muddy. The shimmer color we used was just gorgeous. Really nice and creamy. Barely any fallout from that shimmer color, like maybe 2 tiny little pieces of fallout, no fallout whatsoever of the matte shades, and just a little bit of kickback in here. So I'm excited to play around more with these shades. And you do still have some nude shades here, but the majority of it is color, and I usually don't go for color, but this was a really nice palette. I would say out of everything I tried, tool wise, this was definitely my favorite. And then number 1 would be the lip oil, and then the eyeshadow palette. Again, the face palette isn't bad. I just wish the shades were a little bit closer to my tone. So the formulation is nice. I'll use it, but it's not something that I'm super excited to use, and I won't be pulling for that over other products on a daily basis. All right, guys, so that is it. This wasn't too much of a fail. Obviously, the most fail was that face palette, but you can't always win them all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Like I said, I'll leave everything down below for you. I'll leave all of the products with a link to Temu. I'll also leave social medias, my email for business purchases. And I hope you decided to stick around. We have some other fun makeup videos in the works as well, and some skincare video reviews as well for you guys. I love you, and I'll see you here very soon. Bye.